Let me go on this Bill Cosby shit again. Now, Bill Cosby's whole spiel prior to this circumstance was about personal accountability. That black people needed to take personal accountability. And all the niggas that agreed with him based upon the same premise. Niggas need to take personal responsibility. I don't disagree with personal responsibility, but it seems like the same niggas who agreed with personal responsibility when Bill was talking about personal responsibility in relationship to keeping your pants up, speaking proper English, assimilating within the white culture. That's the accountability that Bill is talking about. Bill's talking about the assimilation into white culture. That's his idea of accountability. And most of the niggas that agreed with him, that was their idea about accountability. As long as you're fitting into the white parameter of normality or normalcy, that's, you know what I'm saying, accountability. However, if you engage in egregious behavior, predatory behavior, you shouldn't be held accountable for your behavior. And the same niggas who was talking about personal accountability, when it came down to keeping your pants up, or motherfucking speaking English properly, or naming your children, names that are not necessarily within the intersubjective agreement, or meet the standard of European normalcy, are all now are switched the idea about personal accountability now. Bill doesn't need to have personal accountability for engaging in predatory behavior, but I need to have personal accountability about how I name my child, and that the name I gave my child doesn't fit into the European standard of normalcy. What? Wait a minute. I need to be personally accountable for having a different physiology and psychology than the individuals that oppress me. But I don't need to have personal accountability in regards to my personal behavior in relationship to how civilized people behave in a civilization. Well, hey, personal accountability isn't drugging women and motherfucking taking advantage of them. And taking responsibility for that behavior. And holding that nigga responsible for that behavior. But personal accountability is, oh, you sagged your pants. You named your child Muhammad. You don't have access to education like everybody else does because of the system that is set up. So you don't speak English like the standard. You know what I mean? White people don't speak English well. Where do you think niggas learn how to speak English from? White folks. English is a white language. So we learned it from white folks. So this idea of personal accountability only being appropriate when it means that we need to hold to the standard that Europeans have set as normalcy. That's the whole fucking goddamn argument about the do-rag. The do-rag is only tacky because it doesn't meet European standards of normalcy. It meets meets African standards of normalcy, which are the standards of abnormality in this social structure. If I go get a job, I'm gonna have to cut this shit off. But this is how my hair grows naturally. It's a standard of normalcy set by Europeans, which is what we call accountability. Or the accountability that we're cool with. But hey, nigga, I can wear a suit and tie, have a PhD behind my name, and go rape women. And not hold myself accountable for that. That's the actual accountability that we need to be holding ourselves to. Our personal behavior, our personal interactions with other people, we need to be holding ourselves accountable for that. Black men need to hold themselves responsible for how they treat black women and women, period. We need to hold ourselves accountable. We need to be held accountable. We need to hold ourselves accountable. Not for the fact that my pants might not reach the waistline in which, you know what I'm saying, the place in which is the waistline, which is the place set by standards of European standards of normalcy. Oh, the brim of my drawers can really show, though. You know what I'm saying? Because white people can do it and they can get away with it. White boys can walk around with the cracks of their ass showing. It's called plumber's crack. I mean, plumber butt or plumber's crack, which motherfucking well predates motherfucking nigga sagging. But, you know, no one wanted to persecute or prosecute white folks for motherfucking goddamn plumber's crack. Nigga, you can see my drawers. You know what I'm saying? You're not seeing the crack of my motherfucking ass. And I necessarily don't agree with the way kids sag right now either. It's a little bit extreme. But still, that's not the fucking same. You can't equate that to the accountability of how you dress versus the accountability of how you conduct yourself in relationship to other people. Because the conduct you're talking about only applies to me. The way I wear my hair only applies to me. The way I wear my pants only applies to me. But when I start acting as a predator, that applies to someone outside of myself. So that whole mind state that we're in right now, where, you know what I'm saying? Okay, we only want to hold, and it's the same individuals who are talking about accountability when motherfucking Cosby was holding niggas accountable for bullshit. Don't want to hold Cosby accountable for his shit. Y'all make no motherfucking sense to me, man. I'm just saying. That's where I'm at with it.